and welcome to the second Tiki Trail Live of 2022. So kind of crazy. Man, I can't believe the year's gone by so fast already. Hopefully you're having a good one. This is what we do every Tuesday night. Jeff Ballard here, your host, as I am every Tuesday night, bringing you all kinds of funness from the tiki world. From mixology and cocktails to musical acts to artists and a whole bunch of cool people. So glad you're joining us. Glad you're here. If you're watching on YouTube, man, I love it. But hey, come join us on a Tuesday night. We're here every Tuesday night, 6 o'clock p.m. West Coast, 9 o'clock East Coast. So yeah, so let's jump right into it. We've got a great lineup again tonight. A number of folks here. They're pretty much spread around. So as we normally do, we're not quite worldwide tonight, but we do have people from all over the country. Starting us off tonight in the pour along mixology session, we have none other than Mike Gabby from Tiki-Ko and the Sinking Ship in Bakersfield. He's going to be joined by Gabby. They're going to make us a couple of cocktails tonight. One alcoholic, one non-alcoholic. So continuing that whole dry January. And I almost sound like I'm sober right now. I don't know why that is. All right. So after we go through the mixology part, then we're going to have our featured guest. Oh, actually, wait a minute. After our mixology, you'd think I've only done, like almost 100 of these things. After our mixology, then we're going to go to our musical act. And tonight we have Nappy, who is returning to sing us a couple of great tunes, play us some amazing Hawaiiana tunes. Looking forward to that. He has been on our show a few times, and I have to say he's a fan favorite. So I'm glad that he's going to be joining us this evening. Then we're going to go to our featured guest. That is Christopher Sperandio with Retso Supply Company out of Houston, Texas. And he's got some really cool stuff. I'm anxious to talk with him about what all he's doing and how we can bring that into the tiki community. After that, we'll go into the Makani Marketplace, where we have three cool artists again tonight. We have Atomic Surplus, Tiki Geo, and Brew Lagoon blog. Blue, yeah. See, I told you, I feel like I need to have more drink. That's the problem. I haven't had enough to drink yet. Brew Lagoon, there we go. The good part is I can edit all that part out. All right, so that's our show for tonight. We're going to kick that off here in just a minute, but I wanted to be able to say, wanted to bring back out, in case you guys have, you've been wondering, we haven't had Tiki-Ko Shaka codes for a while, but we do again tonight. So Tiki-Ko, for those of you that have the Tiki-Ko app, tonight's code 328E. And for those of you that are playing bingo, hopefully you have that landed for you. 328E. Tiki-Ko is the app. If you don't have the app, go out and get it. Go to tikiko.com. You can download the app, go to your favorite iPhone store or your favorite Android store and download the app from there. You can do that directly. But Tiki-Ko is the app made by Tiki people for Tiki people. It's really about discovering, collecting the people, places, and cocktails, the ohana, all of our experiences that make up our own personal Tiki trail. And a while back during the pandemic, we created these things called promo cards. So while with a normal Tiki-Ko app, you can only collect when you're there on site, these particular cards you can actually collect from right here on the show. For example. So we do have that promo card for you tonight. We plan on bringing back additional promo cards as we move forward. So do be on the lookout for that. All right. So that's it for my little bit of a commercial there. Let's get a cocktail because I need to fix this mouth. For some reason, it's not operating quite right. So I'm going to bring in Mike Gabby and Gabby. Let's add you into the mix here. How are you guys doing?
Good. Hi, good. How are you guys?
Good. So Mike and Gabby, you guys are from Tiki-Ko and the Sinking Ship in Bakersfield, California. Now, I have to ask, because last time you guys were on, you were just Tiki-Ko, but now you seem to have added a sinking ship to the mix.
Yeah, we spent more money, so we had to, add on to the bar. We actually did, last time we were here, we actually did the show downstairs, but it was like half done.
Gotcha.
So, but today we're up in the upstairs, the original flavor Tiki-Ko.
Okay. All right. So you have a couple of cocktails you have for us tonight. The first one, let's go for the fully loaded, fully leaded version, if we can. That is the Wahine Bee. Am I pronouncing that right? Wahine
Bee, which is a kind of a bastardization of Queen Bee, Hawaiian for queen, and then bee. It's a riff on a bee's knees.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. This is Mike's invention, right, Mike? You came up with this one.
Yeah, one of our regulars wanted oh my god, a bee's knees, but she didn't want all gin. So then like this just kind of was like, all right, I'll just throw some rum in there and see what it tastes like, and it turned out pretty good.
All right, so who's the voice of God that's talking?
That's God.
Sorry, this is Roy behind the camera.
Hey, Roy. Okay, how are you doing? As I'm looking, it's like, wow, I need to see his mouth move, and man, Gabby's got a pretty deep voice. She needs to clear her throat or something.
Sorry, I'm not camera presentable tonight or ever.
All right, so let's get to the cocktail.
Yeah, so like I said, so this is like our riff on a bee's knees. Honestly, the big difference is it's a half cut gin, half cut rum cocktail. You're just gonna start off by chilling a coupe glass, and then we're gonna do a 3/4 ounce pour of honey syrup, an ounce of, we use Hamilton 86 Demerara rum. If you don't have this, Eldorado 5 year is a really good replacement.
If you don't have the Hamilton rum, what's the matter with you? That would be my take.
I know if we don't have Hamilton, it's because we just can't get it.
Man, I tell you what, when I hit the Indiana border and I got to my first true liquor store, I saw they had Hamilton. I'm like, all right, I can live here then. It's okay. It'll be fine.
I don't have to move now.
Is it a dry county?
No. Hey, we can even buy alcohol on Sundays. Woohoo! That just came into effect in the last few years. So yeah.
All right. Yeah. So you're gonna do an ounce of the 86 Hamilton rum. You're gonna do an ounce of Ebra gin or any sort of like floral forward gin. And then you're gonna do a full ounce of lemon juice, freshly squeezed if you want it to taste extra good. All right. Then you're just gonna shake that up with some smooth ice. You're gonna dump your chilling coupe out, and then we're gonna double strain this cocktail just because it's served with no ice in a chilled coupe. So you just want to make sure you get all those little ice pieces not in your cocktail. And then for our garnish, we do a little fancy cherry with a dehydrated lemon. You're just gonna set that in there. And there you have. You have the Wahine Bee.
Very nice. That looks very good. So what took you down this path? You decided to make this happen for this one particular customer, and what's been the response to the cocktail?
So the customer that ordered it is one of our like really good regulars. Her and her husband come in twice, sometimes 3 times a week. They usually sell us like buy everything out, so we usually just don't have things because of them. But yeah, I know she was telling me she went, I forget what bar she went to, but she went to a bar. She said she had a bee's knees, and she's like, I'm not a big gin person. This one wasn't bad, and she's like, she pretty much was like, make me a tiki-fied version of a bee's knees. And I was like, the only thing I could think of is like, oh, I'll just add rum to it. like,
That would, yeah.
Hamilton. And I mean, we went through a couple different variations of it. The one that we just made today is the one that was the winner. And I mean, I mean, everyone seems to like it. Everyone here that's tried it really likes it. And so far, no one sent one back.
All right. Well, that's a good sign so far. That's good. So now we were talking before we started up the show. You guys have an event coming up here in a few weeks.
Yeah, February 12th. It's the second Saturday in February. We're doing our first ever marketplace in collaboration with Wayne and our friends at Central California Tiki. It's pretty small. I think we're going to have maybe a total of 12 vendors because we're doing it indoors in the basement.
Okay. In the sunken ship.
Yeah, in the sunken ship. But we've got some cool cats coming. Tiki Vato, who had made the lamp. Mike, if you want to point up above your head, this giant fish trap lamp for us and a couple other lamps in the bar.
Anything that's a blowfish.
Yeah. All of our blowfish lamps. But yeah, just different artists and vendors from Southern and Northern California. And hopefully this takes off and we start doing it every couple of months.
Well, that would be awesome. And we already have somebody in the chat who's anxious to do the show. So Ron Monster, I don't know if you want him, but he's willing to do the show.
We are, yeah, sorry. Thanks, Samantha. We are in Bakersfield, California, about an hour and 45 minutes north of Los Angeles and about 4.5 hours south of San Francisco. Kind of right in the middle, but I think we're worth a visit if you're driving through California.
We're a nice pit stop.
Yeah.
In between Vegas too.
Yeah, we're, maybe 6 hours?
I
mean, 4 if you're real fast.
Yeah. 4.5, 5 hours.
Depends on what I'm driving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That trip was a whole lot faster in my BMW than it is in my Jeep. Just saying.
Yeah. And a lot cheaper, I bet.
Yes. As a matter of fact.
I am doing dry January, but I'm going to make an exception for this. Mike, can I have this?
I can't do dry January because my birthday's in January, so it just doesn't work out.
Oh yeah, that's just wrong. That's completely wrong.
Damp January.
All right. Well, let me bring up the gallery view. Everyone raise a glass, whatever you're drinking. Mahalo for joining us for another week.
Okay.
Glad everybody is here. 2 weeks into the year already. Woo, man, my how time flies.
I can't believe it.
I know. It seems like it was just New Year's Eve like a week ago.
Gotta say, that is fantastic, Mike.
I made it with love. It's a secret ingredient.
Well, I am looking forward to, if I can, if all stars line up, I may actually be at that at the event on the 12th. So I'm looking forward to trying an original from you guys.
Oh, that's awesome, Jeff. We look forward to seeing you.
I'm making every effort to do it. I was supposed to be in Orlando this week. In fact, I had things lined up. I was going to be doing the show from Orlando. Yeah, that didn't quite happen. But fingers crossed, we're going to make it back to California. All right. Well, I know you guys are going to come back to us here in a couple minutes. Let me see if I can find Nappy, if we have Nappy in the house yet.
He was actually the musical guest last time we were on.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he comes back to us quite a bit, and it does not look like tonight is one of those nights. So Sam, hopefully you can check on Nappy to see where he's at. So the good news is we have experience at this. So I'm just moving on, and we'll go straight into our featured guest for this evening. And that featured guest would be Christopher Sperandio. How do I say your last name, man?
Well, Sperandio is how I've always said it, but I'm an Italian that doesn't speak Italian, so Sperandio, I think.
Sperandio. Okay, yeah, there we go. All right. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Man, I see your stuff like everywhere. You're all over the place. And so when Sam said that you were coming on the show, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So let's talk a little bit about what you do, though, because I want to get everybody caught up on what it is that you guys are doing.
Well, so I'm an artist and I make comics and comic books, graphic novels, and I'm a university professor. I teach at Rice University in Houston, Texas. Actually taught my first class of the semester today. Yeah, 2022.
Nice.
Yeah, and I do a lot on Instagram. When the pandemic hit, it closed a lot of cultural centers, it closed museums and galleries, but Instagram stayed open. So I did a lot. I've done a lot with Instagram over the past 2 years.
And so talk to us about Retro Supply Company.
Yeah, so Retro Supply Company. So along with sort of turning towards Instagram, I also started working digitally a lot more. I make my drawings now on this iPad that I'm talking to you on, because I don't have to order paper, I don't have to order inks, I don't have to scan things. Yeah, and so I started once I started being really active on Instagram, then Retro Supply came along and said, "Hey, we like your work," and I started working with them, writing articles for them about art and comics, and then I've made a couple of fonts that Retro Supply is selling as well.
That's the part that's just kind of crazy to me. I mean, I've been on the marketing side of my career, my entire career. I've been on the marketing side of things, and making your own fonts is that's pretty out there, man. So now, talk to us about the art that you're doing, and do you have some examples that you can share with us this evening?
Yeah, sure. So my Instagram is Pinko Joe, Pinko_Joe. And that's actually the title of my first graphic novel. And it's a new kind of graphic novel. Results may vary. So,
so
maybe.
First of all, tell us, what's a new kind of graphic novel?
It's just bullshit. It's hokey, jokey bullshit.
So you spend a lot of time on the marketing side too, I hear. I see.
Well, no, nobody cares. But yeah, so it's a graphic novel made to look like it was actually drawn in the 1950s. So I don't know if I have a tiki relationship apart from sort of like just sort of general pulp culture, maybe.
Right.
And so the entire book is like that. It's all this sort of faux 1950s comics, and politically minded, but meant to be funny. If you can, if you still can laugh these days.
Yes, and somebody in the chat has said Tiki confirmed. So we do approve, we do allow. I knew that would happen.
Well, I've got another one that so also, because I'm an academic, I also do comics research. And so this is my book, Fundamental Camarena. And this is a book about a Mexican comic artist named Julio Camarena, who was active in the 1960s and 1970s and made beautiful inky comics. And I think that Mexican pop culture also, I think, is probably tiki safe as well.
Yeah, no, you definitely have some great stuff. It fits in the genre. We always talk on the show what's tiki, and we take the most liberal approach to it, that if it's tiki to you, then that's tiki, because it's your bar. You can have whatever you want in it. And you've got some really beautiful mid-century modern type of art that you're showing off there. So absolutely, that fits.
Cool. Yeah, it's all tiki to me. Maybe that's too far. Yeah, so that's what I do. I make art and comics. And if you are a Trumpist at all, probably, it'll trigger you. Probably stay away. It's the best idea.
So
If,
that has
you
to be a
know,
little bit of you have to get a little bit of grief in being that you're in Texas then, or is it because you're in Houston? It's kind of a safety zone.
I'm a prisoner here. Send help. Liberate me.
I can understand that. I definitely understand that. So yeah, Bamboo Ham says you need to move to Austin. So tell us a little bit more about, what got you into this. I mean, it's, we've had the graphic novel artists on before. Is this something that you wanted to prove to your parents? No, by gosh, I'm not wasting my time reading this stuff, or, what drew you to it? No pun intended.
Well, I was reading comics since I was a kid, and making art is like, I'm really terrible at math, so making art was really the only option for me. So I got a scholarship to go to West Virginia University for my undergraduate, and then I went to the University of Illinois in Chicago for my graduate degree. And yeah, I've been making art, sort of boy and man for 50, however old I am. I'm 57, so -3 probably. I don't know when I was probably 4 when I realized I was an artist. I don't know.
So you knew from an early age, barely out of
I've known
diapers,
for a long time.
and you had it all lined up. So how do your students react when they find out your art? Because these are art students, I'm presuming. Do they have an issue? Are they haughty-taughty about it?
So I teach, for the last 5 or 6 years, I've taught comics classes.
Okay.
As part of our fine arts curriculum. I also teach design. I don't really make my classes about me. My classes are about my students. I give them my credentials, but I don't go into such detail. If a student is a Trumpist, like, I don't think I have the right to sort of push my political views on them. So I try to keep my stuff out of the classroom. I'm not relevant in that regard.
So I'm just, when you said that you teach classes on the graphic novels, I'm thinking immediately in my head to all the grief I got in college when I had to take, phys ed type of classes. I took cross country skiing and tennis just because, that's what I wanted to do. And I got such grief from my parents about, you're taking tennis, all this money, and you're taking tennis lessons. So I can only imagine the grief your students get. All this money I'm spending, you're taking comic book art.
Well, so today, the first lecture I give is on the importance of comics. So, that the U.S. entertainment industry, which includes comics and video games and films, is 4 times the size of the U.S. energy industry.
Wow.
So if we're being capitalists and measuring things in monies, then comics win. The Marvel Cinematic Universe in 2019 alone was valued at something like $22 billion.
Right.
That's not nothing. And then another part of the lecture is about how people like Napoleon were so heavily impacted by the caricaturists that attacked him. Napoleon was an average sized dude. He wasn't some short little maniac. he was depicted that way in the British tabloids, in the British papers, as a child throwing a tantrum, and that stuck with him, and it really undermined him, frankly. So political figures, and then money, and then also, cartoonists all over the world get jailed or disappeared all the time, and so comics is actually a really important field, and it just gets a bad rap, much like Tiki.
Mhm. Oh yeah. Well, but the good news is that they're not. People aren't wearing coconut bra. Guys aren't wearing coconut bras and grass skirts when they imitate that. So yeah. So that's really incredible, though. I mean, certainly the impact of the illustrative art in the political world, the satire that goes on, it definitely has a huge impact. Who's the oh. I always do this. I cannot remember the name of the person I'm thinking of. The man who depicted Muhammad, and now he's been on the lam for the last like 20 years.
Yeah, I talk about those artists as well. There's uh, uh, he's sort of a dog in the manger. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. When they ran those depictions of Muhammad, something like 250 people were killed in riots all over the world.
Yeah.
And these guys are kind of unapologetic about it. I mean, I think that yeah, I mean there's freedom of speech issues that go hand in hand with why antagonize people based on their religion. I'm not for that.
Well, it goes back to that. I mean, putting those images out there comes great responsibility, and with great power comes great responsibility, right? That expression from
that's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Not Muhammad.
from your
didn't
world.
say that. That was Spider-Man.
No. I was going there. It's like, and it comes from the comic book world, as a matter of fact. So yeah, I mean, absolutely. But being able to tell a story and to paint a picture, and for people like you that are using the force for good, not for evil, it's really important that happens. So let's talk a little bit about any kind of tiki experience that you have in your background, just out of curiosity. Or are we totally foreign to you tonight?
I used to date a woman who was super into tiki, and
Okay,
so
cool.
there's a tiki bar in Madrid, Spain, that we went to because she wanted to go to the tiki bar that was in Madrid. Here we are in Spain, lots of domestic culture in Spain, but no tiki. So yeah, so tiki kind of ruined one of my trips to Spain.
Wow, that's harsh, man.
Well, come on, tapas. Like we can go tiki anytime, but it was a good tiki bar for a Spanish tiki bar. I don't know what the international tiki experience is. And do I remember the name? I do not remember the name. I remember her name, I think.
Well, that's good.
But
At least it was that
bar.
good of a relationship. So,
I'm just fooling around.
So talk to us a little bit more. I mean, you have more art than just those books. I mean, what is it that really drives you in terms of your art as you create these things? Where does it come from?
It comes from rage, basically, anger, sort of shut in logic. There's a lot of messed up things going on, and I, the media companies portray things one way, and so I just decided that I would start speaking about things that I care about. So on any given day, there's any number of things that I'm mad about, and I just keep notes and lists. And then as an idea for a comic comes up, then I've got any number of notebooks stashed around here that I write things down in. And then because it's free and it's Instagram, I don't really put a lot of care and attention into it. I just sort of blah, like get it out and throw it up.
Throw it out
And
there. Yeah.
if people don't like it, they can unfollow me. That's what I think. If you like it, great. But I also am. If somebody starts anti-vaxxing me or what abouting Trump to me, I'll block you. don't don't doubt it. I will delete your comment. I will block you. I don't care.
I will knock you out.
That's right. Go, I get a lot of people trying to dunk off of me on Instagram, like climb up my back and try to put the ball in. And no, no, you're not, nobody's dunking off of me. So it's pretty much a bullhorn that I'm shouting into the void. I don't know if anybody has that experience.
Yes, I do every Tuesday night. I don't know what it is. But yeah. So where is it we can experience your art? Where can we acquire your art? What's the best way to do that?
Yeah, I think via Instagram, it's at Pinko_Joe, and I'm sure people can get to the link through your Instagram. You've got me tagged. And then from there, there's the people that publish my book are on Instagram. I've just started a new relationship with a group in California called Rat Nest Sticker Co., and they are the U.S. distributor for my books here. And I've got a new one coming out in May. So Pinko Joe is the first volume of the series, and then the second volume in the series is called Greenie Josephini, and Greenie Josephini is she's actually green.
Did she date Spock? Did she date Kirk? I'm pretty sure she dated Kirk.
It was inspired by vintage Star Trek for sure. And then the third volume that's coming out is called Red, White, and You Blew It All to Hell. And that's the apocalypse and the post-apocalypse. And then if you have a comics nerd in your life and you want to get them a present, I made this little book called Comics Making, and it's part of it's sort of tutorials on how to make things like the way I make them, and sort of various history essays. So the nerd in your life wants this book, and it's red on the back.
All right, and where can we acquire that?
Yeah, so the publisher is arglebarglebooks.com.
Can you
and the
spell
distributor
that? What? That's usually what I sound like before a few cocktails.
I'm gonna throw up a picture. Argle Bargle
Books. There we go. Yeah.
And the U.S. distributor is ratneststickerco.com.
Okay.
And when the third volume comes out, it's gonna be a boxed set of all three volumes, and the first people to buy them will also get lovely billionaire spaceman jointed action figure.
Dude, you should have led off with that. That's awesome. I need one of those.
Yeah, he's floating away now.
Major Tom, can you hear me?
Oh, he's back. What the hell's going on? You didn't know you're getting a puppet show too, did you?
Yeah, no, that's incredible. I like it. Is it in 3D?
Yeah.
Is that when you go like this?
He's in 2.5D.
Okay.
Right.
So one of the things I wanted to ask you is, as somebody who's teaching, you not only immersed in this art, but you're teaching this art. Because I had noticed on your Instagram, you do a lot of what seems to be, or at least we've had a few artists that seem to make it feel like it's very popular right now. The style that you do is like the old comic book Sunday or newspaper comic print art type of art, the big heavy dots on it.
Yeah.
Is that how long has that been your style, or is that something you're dabbling in because it's hot now? I mean, talk to us a little bit about that style or that trend.
Yeah, I mean, the retro thing is something that people dig, people love it. I don't think retro is ever going to go out of style. My background is in printmaking, and so I sort of moved into comics after getting a degree in printing. And so sort of that, like, the history of printing is something that I'm constantly thinking about. You know, I know other people think about cars or women, or, you know, whatever, booze. I think about printing.
Or all three. That can happen too.
So the retro style is definitely something that's hot, but it's something that has been with me my entire life. Um, who knows what will happen further down the road? I don't know where styles will go. Maybe tastes will change and people will get out of that retro thing. I'm too old to change now. This is it. I'm done.
Well, you know, it's funny because I look at this kind of art. Like I said, I've been a photographer. I understand the whole printing process and the concepts there. And it's always been about removing the grain and getting, like some of your other art is very clean, clear, crisp. It's not with the dots, the big old dots. So I look at this and I go, on one hand, it's kind of like the Instagram and the other photo filters that try and give you a 1970s snapshot look to your pictures, which always just weirded me out. It's like, why you have this beautiful camera that can take amazing pictures and you want it to look like some Kodak Instamatic from 1972, really? But this feels more authentic, and that's what. So I don't know. That's why I'm kind of having a, it's kind of messing with my mind here. I like how it's gone back to this style.
Well, it's easy to do on screens. It's harder to do when you're actually printing comics, because if you've got if you're starting to mess with the sort of DNA of the printing, then you can end up with these sort of terrible moire patterns. And so it's the stuff on screens is super easy, and so all my stuff on Instagram, I don't really have to think about it too much. But when I go to print these books or print the Billionaire Spaceman, I have to think about it.
And I'm digging that Billionaire Space dude. I like him a lot. I need to have him in my new tiki bar.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much, Chris. Love the stuff that you're doing. You absolutely, sir, 100% tiki. Bringing your stuff into that environment, into our environment, is awesome and definitely on point. So we have all your info in the chat for people to be able. Okay, whoa, hey now, careful. We have all your info in the chat, so we can go get your stuff and to follow you on Instagram. So thanks for joining. Definitely appreciate what you're doing, and thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me. Great concept. I look forward to seeing more tiki action.
Well, I'm glad we're able to help at least put a little bit of salve on your tiki injury. From that tiki memory, we give it a little bit better taste. So glad we're able to do
Absolutely.
that. All
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Thanks a lot. Okay.
All right. So now let me see. We're going to go back to Tiki-Ko because it's time for another cocktail. Let's bring back Gabby, who's going to make us a nice NA cocktail for those that are doing dry January, or you just want a really great tasting drink. that is not going to knock you on your butt.
Am I on?
You're
Oh,
on.
hi.
You're on.
You guys,
and
it's good
and
here.
that's
Hi,
the
thanks for having
segue.
me. How's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Obviously, didn't know I was on the screen yet, but
You
excited
are
to make
on.
it through tonight and walk you through it. So should I just get started?
Yeah, let's fire it up. The
Okay,
Peachy
so-
Keene. Now, okay, before you do that, I have to ask, is it Keene with an E at the end or is it Keeen?
Keene, like Keene, California. Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking Freddie's favorite artist.
Oh, Keene with the big eyes.
Yes.
No, you know what? I don't know. I was just grasping at straws when I did
It was
this.
2 in the morning.
It was 2 in the morning. I was trying to finish the menu, and I'm like, oh, Peachy Keene, great. But also, Keene, California is not too far from us.
Yeah, so yeah, Bamboo Ham, that's the same question I had. All right, so which one is it? Is it with an E at the
Let's
end
go
or
with
not?
Keene, the big eyes artist.
But with an E at the end?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Gotcha. You know, for those of us that have to publish your cocktail, it's like, I want to make sure I'm spelling it right, which apparently I didn't spell it right.
No, no, yeah, Keene with an E at the end. Yeah.
All right, perfect. Now you may go on. Thanks. Sorry, Gabby.
No, not at all. So, okay. So this drink that we did is a non-alcoholic drink. Wah, wah, wah. But basically every January, you know, everybody makes their resolutions, and a lot of people resolve to stay dry for the month of January. So we always try to put some options on the menu. Year round, we do have some non-alcoholic options, but in January, we just try to beef it up a little bit for people who are doing that to still go out and have a good time. So this is one of the drinks we came up with this year. And we're going to start with some simple syrup. So we're going to measure out an ounce of simple syrup. Okay. And then we've got some peach nectar that we're going to be using. Or just, you know, like the simple peach juice is good, or whatever it is you have available to you. So we're going to do 3 ounces of this, though. It's kind of a hefty pour of that.
Wow,
And then
yeah, that's a peachy drink for sure.
It is, but it's really good. Okay, and then we're going to do 3/4 ounce of fresh lemon juice. My hands are big enough. Okay. There we go. Okay. How many people are actually still sticking to their resolutions already?
I blew it just now.
yeah. Somebody's already dropped it. 11 days in. Good going though.
Somebody told me, like, I'm done with 2022 7-day free trial. I want to cancel already.
See, I thought 2022 so far has been okay. We haven't had any, insurrections. We haven't had any more pandemic stuff. We haven't
Knock on, yeah.
not yet. We're 11 days in, so it's already better than last year.
Okay, so this drink has a lot of peach in it, but we also are going to be grating some fresh ginger. So this is just already peeled, but you guys know, you just pick it up at the grocery store. It's a big root, looks like that. And then we're just going to use the microplaner and grate, like, I don't know, whatever your flavor. We're doing about a 1/2 inch worth, like kind of whatever you're into. I might add a little extra. I like it gingery. Okay, so we're gonna do that. And then if you have one of those countertop crushed ice machines at home, or if you live near a fast food place that will give it to you like we used to do, we like to use crushed ice with this drink. But if not, whatever you have available to you will be good. And then we're just gonna shake it.
Our Sonic will no longer provide crushed ice.
We ruined it for everybody.
Yeah, I love being near a Sonic. I could always go get great bags of crushed ice for parties and such. It was like $1 a bag or something crazy like that.
Pretty cheap. Okay, so I'm gonna strain that up and leave a little bit of room here. I'm using a Collins glass, but again, like whatever tiki mug or glass you have at home available to you. And then we're gonna top it with the finest of soda waters here, Shasta.
All right.
Right there. And then for the garnish, we just picked up some candied ginger. You can make it yourself by, just boiling the ginger and then sticking it in some sugar, or just pick it up at the grocery store, and then a lemon. And that's the Peachy Keene. Also, if you wanted to add some like Ray and Nappy or something to it, it's still delicious.
It's peachy or keenier.
It's much keenier with an E. Yes.
So now,
so cheers.
so let me ask, so what was the genesis for this cocktail? Mocktail. if you will.
Again, it's just like every year in January, we try to do something that is like non-alcoholic, and we actually get a lot of like business from that. People do come in very interested in those cocktails. And then with the peach, well, we came up with a whole menu actually this year. So we have a chai cocktail. We have one that we're using the BG Reynolds, like the non-alcoholic falernum in. We have a couple that we're doing. This is just the one we wanted to feature for you guys on the show today. But peach is a flavor that we don't have on the normal tiki menu all the time, but people ask for it a lot. So I kind of wanted to do something with some peach.
Very nice. And it's much more tiki than a Bellini would be.
Yeah, I think so. Just because we're in a tiki bar.
Yeah. So good on you for going that direction. I think that works. Well, awesome. Thank you for sharing this, and glasses up, everyone. Another mahalo, and thank you for another cocktail. I'm looking forward, as I said, to actually being there in spirit and in person, and joining you with spirits.
Yeah, we'll be here.
And so now, I still want to hear. So maybe this is the voice of God who will talk to us about the shrunken ship, the sunken ship.
So our basement bar, which was 6 years in the making,
And a pandemic.
The one upside of the pandemic is that we were able to just kind of focus on that. We were closed for a year and 4 months. And we managed to use that time to finish up the sinking ship. It's my bar, so I'm like, it's the greatest bar in the world, but it is a world-class nautical tiki bar, designed and mostly built by Tiki Diablo. And it's pretty awesome. It's about 2.5 to 3 times the size of the upstairs bar. And we opened, California was able to reopen on the 15th of June. I think we opened that Friday.
Okay.
So yeah, we've been back in business down there since June.
Nice. And what's the reception been like with the new space?
Oh, great. It's been awesome. We actually had a couple of tiki heads from San Francisco that did a 26 bar 7-day tiki tour, and I'm sorry, from Sacramento, and they rated all the bars they went to, and these are some pretty serious tiki heads. They went to Smuggler's Cove and Trader Sam's, and pretty much everywhere in California that you can get a tiki drink, and we got first place. They rated us the best tiki bar they'd been to in California.
Nice.
And I was pretty proud of that.
Yeah, congrats. That sounds awesome. Well, now, dude, I gotta make my way up there when I get out to California this next trip. So looking forward to seeing it, and I'm gonna come and rate it myself. I'll determine if it's a top
Be gentle.
No, I can already tell you got a pretty good bar, good crew, good cocktail program for sure. So I think apparently we had a sinking ship restaurant bar here in Indy, but it was a hockey bar. I don't understand how the hell a sinking ship is hockey, but
we're not great at naming stuff. The sinking ship was basically just a play on that we basically sunk every penny we had into it. And if this doesn't succeed, then I'm gonna drown myself.
Oh, I was like, it's sinking ship with an E.
Oh, very good. Nice one, Gabby. I like that.
Old timey spelling. SHIPPE. The old sinking ship.
The old shippy. Yes. Well, awesome, man. Thank you for coming on, and look forward to seeing your event. Hopefully, being there. But hearing more good stuff coming out of you guys.
No,
Thanks
thanks so much for having us. We really appreciate it. And this is great.
All right. And look forward to meeting you in person. So mahalo for joining us. And thanks again.
Oh, Wayne is asking when the event is. February 12th.
Right in time for Valentine's Day.
Wait,
Yes.
Get
Wait.
your sweetie a gift.
Wayne is asking when the event is.
Hopefully he knows, but
Yeah, I was like, wait, Wayne.
Just
you should know
reminding
that.
you to promote it.
Oh, okay. Oh, hey, I'm already promoting the whole Central California tiki thing right here. So
The shirt looks good on you too.
yeah. So we got that going on. We'll continue to promote it. So looking forward to it, guys.
all right. Thank you so much, Jeff.
All right. Let's see now. We are going to I'm all discombobulated. I think now we're gonna go to Nappy. Let me see if I can find our musician for the evening. There he is, my brother Nappy. How are you doing, man?
Good, brother. How you guys doing?
We
You
are
got a nice
doing.
place, by the way.
What's that?
No, the girl that was making the drink, man, that's tight. I
Yeah.
need a background like that.
Oh, I know. Isn't that was pretty cool.
Right. I mean, I just got a studio. This is a little studio. This is my son's studio, so in the house. Yeah.
So-
How you guys
so
doing? Happy New
Good.
Year. Happy New
You
Year,
guys
everybody.
have been kind of busy. I've seen at least your son definitely out there, but it looks like you
Yeah.
guys have been pretty busy.
Yeah, man, we've been busy a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, man.
All right, so Kevin, Nappy, Napoleon, welcome to Tiki Trail Live. You got us
Always a
for
pleasure.
you got us for a few tunes here. Where I'm gonna shut the hell up, enjoy my cocktail while I listen to some of your
Sure,
beautiful
man.
music.
Maybe a cocktail song, maybe something jazz.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. Let's do something a little upbeat. Yeah. Let's do here's a song I wrote about a place I grew up in, a place called Nanakuli. So it goes something like this. From the islands on the west side. When I look up in the sky, beyond the cloud drifting on by, Nanakuli. Cheers, everybody. Nanakuli. And when the sun sets today, before it fades, it points me the way to Nanakuli. Sit a Nanakuli on my mind every single day. Take my hand, lead me home to stay on the cloud, floating in air. Come with me, and I'll take you there. Let's go. Oh, come with me, and I'll take you there. Black rock to the other side. Say body surf back in 75. Sit a Nanakuli. Sit a Nanakuli. Down to Tiki-Ko where all the tourists go. Pop the back, grab the purse, got a cold. Nanakuli. Oh, sit a Nanakuli. Hey, you know, come, Vika, hey, okay, get on now. Ooh, hey, yeah. Kawila maka, he get, okay, get on now. Ooh, hey, yeah. There's a time when the sea gets rough and the fishes, they just move with the sea. What you doing, Mr. Prada Man? Girl, what you want to do with the lightning speed? What you got to do is sit down, act patiently. Fishes in the sea, you got to hold on. You got to hold on. Fishermen say, big ship sailing on the ocean. Yeah. Big ship sailing on the ocean. Oh, nah, nah. Big ship sailing on the ocean. Big ship sailing on the ocean. Medley of songs from the Atlas. Woo.
Oh, that is beautiful, brother.
Cool. Little medley, bro. Little medley for everybody listening in. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. One more?
Yeah, always.
Yeah, one more. Yeah, man. Let me share this one now. Since I wrote this for my dad. He's like my best friend. So it goes out to all the dads. Here to all the dads. Song called In My Heart. Every little step you got me, every single road you walked with me, every little trail you held my hand. Every time I cried, you dried my tears. Every time I fell, you picked me up. Whenever I turned to you, you were always there. Now that you're gone, I've no one else to turn to, no one to dry these tears that I shed. 'Cause Daddy, you're always on my mind. Daddy, you're always on my mind. Daddy, you're always on my mind. And you're always in my heart. Always in my heart. Cheers to you, Dad. Every time I sing this song for you, I can feel love come shining through. Daddy, I wish that I could see you once again. Now that I have a family, try my best to keep your legacy. Daddy, I try to be a father just like you. Now that you're gone, I have someone else to turn to, though. Someone to dry these tears that I shed. But Daddy, you're always on my mind. Yeah. Daddy, always on my mind. Daddy, you're always on my mind. You're always in my heart. To all the dads, Happy New Year. Cheers to the sky for my pops over there.
Man, that is a beautiful song.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thanks for having me, brothers.
You damn near made me cry, brother.
Oh man. Brother Dad.
Oh, that was just beautiful.
You can actually, hey, brother, you can actually find that song. It's on actually recorded it with my group, Kua'ana, and it's like on Spotify. It's from the Feels Like Home CD, and it's called In My Heart. So if you guys really like that song, check it out.
Oh,
it's on all digital outlets and stuff like that. If you guys was feeling it,
that's absolutely, that's amazing. So Kua'ana, can you can you spell that? I want to make sure we have that right.
Yes. KUA apostrophe ANA.
KUA apostrophe ANA. Kua'ana.
Yes, Kua'ana.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be looking for that. That's
man,
pretty cool.
Check it out. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks,
Yeah.
you guys. Thanks for having me,
Yeah.
brother. I appreciate you.
I'm just glad you weren't on last month because that's when my dad's birthday was, and my dad passed a number of years ago, and that would have
Oh,
been
man.
that'd have been that'd have been all tearing up. I'd have been like, Sam, you got to take over. I can't talk.
Oh, man.
That was a beautiful song. So
Thank
great.
you, brother. Appreciate that. Appreciate
All
it.
right. Thank you.
All right, man.
Now, are you
Thanks for having me.
you have gigs? I'm glad to hear you. We can get you get recordings of you now. I'm excited about that. So you guys have gigs planned?
We have a couple. We're like working on some stuff right now. Me and my son, we're actually writing some music. Actually, my son Bo, he's working with this girl named Pia Mia. She's like one of the Kardashians' best friend, right? So she wanted to do a little island reggae album, because she's from Guam. So then, all the songs, bunch of the songs that my son wrote, I kind of helped on some of the lyrics and a little bit on some of it. But yeah, man, for that. Name is Pia Mia. She's coming out with her. It should be kind of like in between, maybe like Gwen Stefani, maybe that, and maybe like with maybe what's her name? Deborah Harry, maybe. You remember back in the 70s?
Yeah, Blondie. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Blondie. Tiger's Eye, kind of like in that. So like, we kind of fused that sound. We kind of captured that sound, maybe that 70s to 90s sound, and then we kind of gave Pia Mia. Yeah. It's coming out soon. So,
nice. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye out for that, man. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So thank you, brother, for having me. I appreciate you, bro.
All right. Thank you. And we will see you again.
Yeah. I see you guys. Aloha, everybody.
All right. Aloha.
All right.
All right. So let's see. We got everybody, all the stuff through. I think we're good. Now we're in that home stretch, otherwise known as the Makani Marketplace. So let me bring up our first artist for this evening, Sam Ames with Atomic Supplies. Let me pull up Sam. There you are, sir. So Sam with Atomic Supplies. How are you, man?
Good. How you doing?
I am doing really good. And the first question I ask anybody that comes on our show that's from Idaho is, how the hell did you get into tiki in Idaho?
I'm one of those guys, you always hear people say, like, I was born in the wrong generation or the wrong time. I was born in the wrong time and in the wrong state and in the wrong mind, everything.
Okay.
I grew up loving SoCal and Hawaii and all that stuff, and old cars, hot rods, things like that. And I ended up coming to Idaho just because I started school here, met my wife here, and moved down to Vegas for a short time, and then ended up getting a really good job here a few years back. And it's it is a cheap place to live. You just have to endure like 8 months of winter.
Well, it was cheap until all the Californians moved in.
Exactly. Yeah. Every other license plate is California, Oregon, Washington.
Yeah, my daughter's one of those. She moved up to Caldwell, just outside of Boise.
Oh, cool. Yep.
So
I'm in the southeast side, so it's even colder and even more remote.
Well, all the more reason you got to have that tiki vibe going as much as you can.
Exactly. Yep.
So let's talk about Atomic Surplus and what you're doing.
Okay. I make really weird and fun light switch covers.
Yeah, those are awesome. Definitely love had a chance to check out what you're doing. So amazing stuff. I can see why you say you were born at the wrong time.
Yeah, so I'm not even particularly passionate about light switch covers or anything. Who is? But the job that I was working at, it was just killing me more and more every day. Hated my boss and was ready to try something. And I've done metal work and I've been a designer. I went to school for illustration, and I've been just designing and building things my whole life. And I tried to figure out a way I could kind of combine all of those skills and passions. And my very first house.
And just one day the light switch flipped on?
Yeah, the light switch flipped on. But the old house I was living in, it was like a 100-year-old house, and whoever did the renovation years ago, all the light switch covers were too small, so you could see like a line of drywall and then see into the wall. that just bugged the heck out of me. So I was like, you know what, I could probably make a light switch cover, and just whipped one up in my shop and was like, hey, I could probably turn this into something. And here I am. I do it full time, 80 hours a week.
Wow.
And it's been great. You know, I cannot complain. I provide for my family and get to be my own boss and get to be designing and building and making stuff all day. So it's pretty sweet.
From light switch covers.
Yeah, who would have thought? Yeah.
Wow. So now, most of your customers, are they individual consumers that order for stuff for the home? Or are they builders, or, you know, large entities that are ordering tons at a time? I mean, what's your base look like?
It's usually just individuals who find me either on Instagram or Etsy or Facebook and order from me. And yeah, I mean, I have done some bulk orders. I try not to do huge orders just because people want a huge discount, but it's like 10 times the amount of work for me. Because I am literally still making them by hand. Like it is a labor of love. I'm working on figuring out ways to build. I'm building tools so that it takes my hands out of the process as much as possible. But there'll always be a handmade bit to it. But yeah, I mean, for now, it's direct to consumer. I design it, I build it, I package it, I ship it. It's all me, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
So where are you getting your design ideas from? Is it from customer requests, stuff that comes out of your head?
I would say mostly out of my head. All out of my head. A lot of the color ideas I've gotten from some customers, but really it just comes from my love of mid-century and anything atomic age, anything that looks like a rocket ship, you know. Definitely cars. The cars from like late 40s up to like 1962, they all kind of had that like space, you know, streamlined, or if they weren't streamlined, they have big fins. And and so my light switch covers kind of emulate that. I'll grab one here. This is probably my most popular design right now. I call it the Zoinks.
Nice.
Which comes from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Shaggy's always saying Zoinks. And so yeah, I mean, you can look at this and it looks either kind of like an old TV screen, just the way it's kind of inset there. Yeah, really, it's this one I held up earlier is inspired by the old mid-century shadow boxes. People would put like mirrors inside an old shadow box and little shelves and things like that. So I kind of just pull inspiration from being in love with that generation, that era of design. In my opinion, it was the pinnacle of creativity and just pure awesomeness.
So now what tools, or what did you have in your tool shed or garage or whatever that you're like, I'm just going to make this, and you walk out there? What kind of things did you have in hand? What were you doing before?
Well, so I grew up watching like old hot rod shows and the show Overhauling with Chip Foose, who's like an artist, and he could build the cars and do the metalwork. And so I set out to be a mini Chip Foose, a guy who could do it all. And so I collected tools and bought up tools. Every spare penny I had, I was buying tools, metalworking tools and woodworking tools. And yeah, I mean, I ended up finding some sheet metal in a dumpster bin, like the aluminum that I actually still use today. I found in a dumpster. Now I just order it in bulk. And so I took that piece of aluminum and just had a design in my head. And there's a tool called a bead roller, which is pretty much just like two wheels that kind of go like that at high pressure, and you can run metal through it, and it puts like different shapes into the metal. And it was that bead roller that kind of got me started, and then I figured out ways to do them quicker and do them more precise. And yeah, just it's been a journey.
Well, that is awesome. How long have you been at this now?
My first plate I think I made in like 2018, but I haven't been doing it full time up until I think August of 2020. So pandemic hit, and I was like so sick of my job at that time. I said I got to quit and try this, see what happens. So I quit, and it took me a couple months to kind of get the ball rolling, but had a really good Christmas in 2020, and then it's just been fun and busy, and making light switch covers ever since.
So now people can go out to your site and be able to pick up stuff that you have on hand. Are they able to request different things, or do you take custom orders? Are there I'll ask that question first. Are there custom orders available?
Yeah, so they're practically all custom orders. My main source of, or my shop, I should say, is on Etsy. And so Etsy is known for handmade stuff, and my wall plates are made to order. So it's mainly just because everybody's walls, whoever made the house and whatever generation it was built, they use different light switches, different combinations, and different styles. So I don't pre-make a whole lot of plates, just because you never know what's going to come and who's going to order what. So I've got color, I've got painted options, and I've got just like regular aluminum options, which are just beautiful. So this is the aluminum.
Nice.
And so it's like an anodized aluminum, which is what Apple uses on their laptops and products. So it has a really pretty sheen. It's very durable, very lightweight, and it's going to last as long as your house does, even longer than the plastic plates most people have. And so yeah, everything's custom. You can tell me you want. Here's an example. This one's shipping out soon. It's like a gray base with teal metal flake or teal glitter.
Wow.
And so, I encourage people to give me custom orders, challenge me. I like to do new things. And so, yeah, it's every day is different, and that's what I like about it. Yeah.
Well, that's really incredible. So the last thing, what's the future hold? Do you have some ideas, some things you're looking to bring out? You're looking to branch out into different types of home accessories?
Absolutely. A magician never shares his tricks or how he does his tricks necessarily, but I do have quite a few designs. As far as like the light switch covers, it's never, the design possibilities are never going to end. Like, it's infinite. So I'm going to just keep releasing new designs in that aspect, but I do have a lot of like mid-century lighting, just home products, things that are on the way. I have them sketched out and starting prototyping and stuff like that. But hardest part is just finding the time to scale my business, because like I said, I am the one-man show doing it all. So if I'm not making light switch covers, I'm packaging them and trying to run the social media, the marketing, all that stuff. So it'll happen. It's motivation for me to build my tooling so that I can have more time to build a bigger business and build it better, and have more opportunities to design. That's really what I'm passionate about. So
well,
more to come.
It definitely comes through, and I can't wait to see what more you have, because that's some incredible stuff.
Appreciate it.
So we've got all your info in the chat, so you can order, go out to Atomic Surplus and check it out. I mean, those are some amazing designs that you've got. A good eye, good style, and to me that's just crazy. You have tools like that laying around to be able to create that stuff. I'm happy. You know, I had an issue the other day just trying to find an Allen wrench. I mean, that's sophisticated to me.
Oh yeah.
So I'll leave it to the pros like yourself, and you're doing a great job. So thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me on. It's been great.
All right. So we go from Atomic Surplus. Now we're going to Tiki-Ko. Let me bring you up. And there we go. George Davis, Tiki-Ko. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Jeff.
So, dude, I fell in love with your art the second I popped open your stuff to check it out.
Oh, thank you. I was wondering, can I share a screen?
Yes, you can. I even set it up ahead of time to let
Okay.
people be able to share their screens if they want.
Yeah, because I figured while you asked me questions, I can flip through some stuff so you don't have to look at my face.
Yeah, that's why I bring guests on, so people don't have to look at my face. I feel you on that.
Are you seeing my screen?
That we are.
Okay, so I have this mug is coming out Friday at 9 a.m. from Lost Temple Traders. And this is my first tiki mug. And I got a few pictures of it, the sculpting process on my workbench.
Now, did you do the sculpting on it or the design?
Yes.
Okay, so the sculpting. Beautiful. I'm always fascinated, and I think it's mainly because I have no artistic ability at all. The 2D artist able to create in 3 dimensions. So I just can't even comprehend it. So, but
yeah, I started out drawing first, and I was working on some comic book ideas that I had, and selling that stuff at Comic-Con. And one year I sculpted a figure and people went nuts over it. So I just started making more, and it just kind of grew out of that. And posting stuff on Instagram, people kept saying, dude, why don't you make mugs? And I never did. It was mostly just one-offs like this. I'm a big fan of Raleigh Crump and Mark Davis and all the guys that designed for Disney. And so I do a lot of stuff like this, and people love all the Disneyana kind of stuff. This one's got some like Adventureland masks on it.
mm-hmm.
This is just a variety of stuff that's in the works.
And so, yeah, you have these carvings. So tell us a little bit about these carvings that you're doing.
Yeah, well, the first thing I started doing, I was using the little money figures. They're little white plastic or the little vinyl figures, and they're blanks, and you can get super sculpey and sculpt over the top of them. And it's just kind of a shortcut for me. Like you can either build an armature with wire, but if you have something that's already in a general shape of a figure, it's pretty easy to turn it into a tiki by throwing some clay on top of it. And that's how I've done a lot of these. And you know, sometimes I'll add things to it, like I'll pop the head off the figure and I'll add a piece of PVC pipe and even a T that goes on the PVC pipe. And I'll show you one that I did, a Hammerhead Shark.
Well, that monkey brain one you showed us a little bit ago, I need that mug. I want that as a mug.
That's going to be down the road a little bit. It's in the works,
Right.
but it's probably not going to be till later this year. And that'll probably be my second or third mug that'll be coming out. Oh, there's the Hammerhead, sorry. Yeah, so this one, this was a little, the bottom part was like a money figure, but then I put a PVC pipe on his neck and then a little T, and then I just built the clay out. And then I just carve them, bake them, and then paint them.
So where's the inspiration coming from for you?
Oh, when I was in grade school, it was like mid-60s. So all the cool stuff was going on then. I remember my dad, before I ever went to Disneyland, my dad took us to the Honolulu Hotel, and they had a really cool kind of grotto area outside the bar. and he took us there one time, and I just thought it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. And then not too long after that, my first trip to Disneyland, going to Adventureland, all that kind of stuff. It's the same kind of escapism you get watching Universal monster movies and reading comic books and all that kind of stuff. It just takes you somewhere else.
Mhm.
And so tikis have always appealed to me in that way. And for my daytime job, I'm a video game artist. I've worked for about 20 years in video games. I worked for Rockstar, and then currently I work for a company called Zynga.
All right.
So that's my daytime job. But
so I have to ask you then. So how on point or how realistic is Mythic Quest, the TV show?
Oh, I don't watch it.
Really? Oh my gosh, you need to check that out. Yeah. It's from the guy, one of the guys who was in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He has this video game company. It's hysterical. I love the show.
Oh, is it kind of like a Silicon Valley kind of thing?
Yeah, it's like Silicon Valley, but it's
a satire of making video games or something.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, definitely check that one out, because
the thing is with me is I spend more of my free time making tikis than I do watching TV. or I try anyway.
Oh my gosh. I mean, just the amount of detail in these carvings. How long does it take you to do a piece?
I can do some of the, like a couple of these totems. I did this just before a Comic-Con, and I did a couple of these totems in a weekend.
Wow. I thought you were going to say you did a couple of these right before the show. So I'm glad to know it took a little bit longer.
No, I take at least a month and a half before a show like that to build up my inventory. So it takes a little while. You know, I have to stay pretty busy to have some stuff to sell. Because I don't mass produce. I do these are one-offs, and then I sell them on my Etsy store. And I'm just now working with the Lost Temple Trader guys to mass produce tiki mugs.
Yeah.
So all this stuff, I do commissions too. Like I'll sell these, I'll post them on my Instagram a few days before I'll post them on my Etsy, and then I'll put them up on the Etsy. And then if they sell out and people missed out, I do commissions of anything they see. So I can always do more.
Oh, that is great. So that one that you just showed, what was, because I'm seeing tree, I'm seeing tiki skull or the tiki mask. What?
Yeah, it's kind of a riff on the stuff you see in the tiki room in Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all the Raleigh Crump style stuff, like you see all the little masks and gods and stuff like that. So it's kind of a riff on that style. So I'm just doing some of my own. I thought it would be cool to have a tree and it looked like the tiki stuff was carved right into the dead tree.
Nice.
So I got some other folders here. I'll go through.
And so Sam is putting all the info for you into the chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the prints, I mean, all your art is just phenomenal, but the prints are what they just stopped me. These are beautiful.
Yeah, this is like a kung fu fantasy in a Polynesian island setting, where this little tiki comes to life. And that's what this whole thing is about. This is sort of like a movie montage type poster.
Yeah, that looks to me like it's ready to be a graphic novel or a comic book.
That's always been the plan, as time allows.
Yeah, that's looking like
as time allows.
There's a theme tonight running through tonight's show. I see.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Little tip of the hat to Indiana Jones. Whoops, excuse me. Got a little trigger happy there.
Hey Jeff, you can tell it. You can get him to do a story. Do your walls. You get all those walls, and you can do an idea of a story for your tiki bar, and just big walls on that
Yeah.
wood I'm talking about.
Yeah, man. I need a 10-foot mural. Can I do a 10-foot mural?
Well, you need a few of them. It's like a comic book thing, so you need about 3 or 4 10-foot murals.
That'd be good for like a tiki bar if it's like a really busy place. And on the way to the bathroom, you have a bunch of panels. And so it gives them something to read while they're waiting in line to get to the bathroom.
Well,
Yeah.
Jeff's got all that room, so that's what I was saying. If you could make a smaller version of that for him, and he could probably blow it up and print it and put it on the walls.
This is how stuff starts out. It's like really loose pencil sketching. And then I tighten it up with inks. And then I started doing all my pages tonally because I just kind of liked it. It felt like wood. And so it was just something I was experimenting with.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting. I like that.
This is where the old tiki carver gets all his wood. The big magic tree. Where else are you gonna go but a big magic tree?
Exactly. That's a lot of wood. That's what she said.
Okay. Now this is a feature that I would do on my Instagram once in a while. And it was called Find the Hidden Tiki. And I would go out, me and my wife would be out and about, and we'd see some cool things and we'd take pictures. And then after I got home, I'd look at all the pictures and I'd figure out ways to turn them into tikis. So
Wow.
this was a day at the zoo and I saw this big rock. And so that was the sketch that came out of that. And then this is kind of the same idea. These are like all the organic ones, but I did another series where I had people send me objects that they thought it would be cool if I turned them into tikis. This was another thing at the zoo. Kind of looks a little more Indonesian than tiki, but
Now people always peg me for, oh, you're just looking for tiki. You totally are looking and you see it. That's amazing.
Well, it makes me push my boundaries. If I get inspiration away from just looking at other tikis, it makes me kind of push the envelope and do a little bit more, like something that might end up being a little bit more original. Like this is one of the pictures somebody sent me. Like, yeah, see if you can turn this into a tiki. And so I made this kind of a tiki chariot kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm saying for the next Transformer movie, I'm sure there's going to be another one. We need this in there. One of them that turns into a tiki, the dump truck.
Tiki Transformers.
Yeah.
Here's the coffee maker.
Oh, wow.
Gas pump.
Man, that is incredible.
This one I had a lot of fun with, the hole punch. And I think that may have been one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think I probably would have gone with Moai, but that probably is too, I like what you did there.
And these are just general sketchbook pages. I love all the PNG, Papua New Guinea kind of masks.
Mm-hmm.
So I sketch a lot of that kind of stuff. And that's pretty
So
much.
now how much of this, you're just doing sketches of this stuff? Are you turning that into art? Some of those I'm looking, it's like, I need a sticker. I need that sticker. I want that on a shirt. I'm seeing some really cool stuff. Are you doing that?
I'm not really doing stickers right now. And I may try that, in this next year, I might do some stuff like that. I'm not sure, if those will move, but it's not going to hurt me to print up a handful and see what happens.
Oh yeah, and there's a lot of print on demand options too that you can get started and see what works, because you have a lot of great designs, and to have them just sitting in a book, man, I'm looking at that stuff going, I want that. I want all of that you were just showing me.
Yeah, well, the guys from Lost Temple Traders were following me, and that they'd see a lot of sketches that I'd post, and they go, dude, that should be a mug. And they go, well, I don't cast anything. I don't know anything about slip casting or any of that kind of stuff. And they said, well, let us know, we'll do it. And so, yeah, I hooked up with them. They were great guys. And this Friday, if anyone's interested in the first mug, it's 9 a.m. Friday, Lost Temple Traders.
9 a.m. Pacific.
Pacific, yes,
Yeah.
Pacific.
Yeah. I was going to say probably not 9 a.m. Eastern, although that would give those of us on the East Coast a little bit more of an advantage. So beautiful artwork, man. I love what you're doing. You've got some incredible stuff. And yeah, hopefully you do commissions, because I need to talk.
Yeah. Yeah, and thanks for your patience with me. I know you asked me quite a while back to come on, and I didn't want to, those guys didn't really want me to post anything about what was coming out. And I thought it'd be better if I waited, and that way I'd get a little promotion for the mug that's coming out too. So
absolutely,
I appreciate you waiting.
No, that's what we have the artists on for, is to promote what they're doing and to show off how people can get some of their cool stuff. So absolutely, the timing is perfect. So thanks for coming on. All right, and now let's see. We have Atomic Surplus, Tiki Geo. That leaves Brew Lagoon, and let me bring you up here. I am adding. There we go. Jerry Carr, Brew Lagoon. I keep wanting to say Blue Lagoon because it's the alliteration thing, or I don't know. My tongue's twisted. I haven't had enough to drink yet. That's my problem.
You should always drink more, man. You know what? I keep hearing this thing about dry January, and I just don't trust people who can go a whole month without drinking. It's, I don't trust people who don't curse either, right? It's, if you don't drink coffee and you don't drink liquor and you don't curse, I just don't know you, man.
Well, I'm okay. I fall into one of those categories, and see if you can fucking guess which one that is.
Yeah, that's got to be the coffee. Come on, man.
Yeah. Oof. Coffee. Ever since they told me it stunts your growth and turns your hair curly, I'm like, I can't afford either of either. I'm not touching this stuff. So
dude,
yeah,
it's health food now, right? Haven't you read the articles? Like, those of us who drink more than 2 cups of coffee a day are now 30% less likely to die from any reason than those of you who do not drink that much coffee a day.
Okay.
I might have just saved your life, man.
Wow. But that means I spend more time, more time of my life, and now I'm drinking coffee during that time. So I don't know. I don't know. So hey, talk to us about Brew Lagoon. You are a very interesting guest, because you have you've got blog, you've got some art, so talk to us a little bit about your business and what you do.
Well, so that's a very interesting question, right? Because we had talked later on in 2021, and I think I put you off for a couple of weeks then, hoping that I'd have my print shop up by now. So the bad news is I have nothing to sell. The good news is everything that I have is free. So if anybody that goes to brewlagoon.com, that's where I post more of my higher resolution art. So I post a lot of stuff to Instagram and Facebook and DeviantArt and various and sundry places. But I tend to take a little more time with what's on the webpage. And my kind of thought is I want to build up a lot of content, and I want to experiment with. I'll show you a quick example. I'm experimenting with paper stocks and different sort of the retro pinup styles to try and come up with something that I feel really comfortable sort of hawking online, right? My background is I got into comics well as soon as I was born, but I was doing a self-published all ages book called Crypto Zoo Crew about 15 years back, and that was all well and good. It was a ton of fun. My business partner and I we sold that to Warner Brothers and Alcon, so they held the option to that for like quite a few years, but ended up not doing anything with it. So we got a little extra cash, and I eventually decided to get out of that and do more grown-up stuff. And so kind of since then, I've just been sort of trying to find my creative viewpoint, try and focus in on something that like I want to do that makes me giggle. Because in the end, that's what I do. I only draw shit that makes me giggle, that appeals to the inner 12-year-old. I think maybe a lot of us feel that way in this group, right? So, but as you can probably tell from the webpage, right, or from my Instagram, right, it's like I'm really pin-up heavy. I saw on George's wall back there some Dave Stevens art, and I'm a huge fan of the Dave Stevens tradition and the Frank Frazetta tradition, and I kind of love everything print-wise that comes out of the 1950s, but design-wise and pop culture-wise that comes out of the 1960s and 1970s. So I try and kind of jam those two things together and make something cool that makes me giggle and makes my wife giggle, and then add alcohol and everybody giggles.
Well, yeah, there you go. And then you add coffee and everybody kind of sobers up. I don't get that part, but yeah.
Yeah, and we also over at Brew Lagoon, right? You probably poked around a little bit. My wife and I have decided to start experimenting with drink recipes and illustrated drink recipes, and we're looking into like a lot of different jewelry design, and we just have a few different things that we're trying to sort of build out our business plan for, and so hopefully we have something to share with you that's more than just some free art online in the next few months.
Well, and to call it just some free art, it kind of does it a misnomer. I'm going to share some of your stuff here since you seem to be so reticent to do so. So, I mean, this to me, it's really cool art. And again, we're going back to that Sunday comic print style that I think is really cool looking. But, this is some of the art that I think you're doing some amazing stuff. So how is it you decided to do this site? Because you've kind of taken some of your art, you've got a blog aspect to it. Is it just getting your voice out there, or you build it? How are you building a following? What's your intent with these?
Yeah, so my primary intent really is to entertain myself and my wife. But right. while I'm doing that, right, I am trying to have some kind of outreach here, right? And what I'm searching for really is something that resonates with people. So I am throwing a lot out into the universe in the hopes that somebody else thinks it's kind of as cool as I think it is. And I feel like that's the kind of thing that gives me some direction, right? Luckily, my day job, I work for a software company up here as in program management. So I don't really have to hustle too much art-wise. I can literally kind of take the jobs that I want to take and do the things that I like to do, and sort of search for like-minded folks like yourself, like everybody on this live stream, right? And I when either the product itself strikes me, or somebody comes with a wheelbarrow full of money, that's when I'll know kind of what to do. Now
I have to ask: is this self-portrait here? of you and your wife?
Yeah, roughly. Since I don't do real caricatures, right? I kind of do idealized versions of folks, and that's kind of an idealized version of myself, and a true to life version of.
I was going to say, be very careful of what you say next.
she's actually supporting me. She's on right now as well.
Right, but the last thing you want to say is an idealized version of my wife.
Exactly,
You'll
right.
be sleeping on the couch.
Yeah. But there's another. I don't know if anybody on the channel is familiar with. There's sort of a proto Playboy, like 1950s style Playboy magazine called Bachelor Pad magazine.
Yep.
And I've been doing those Playboy style one-page jokes for that magazine for a couple years now. Just about every issue I have a comic strip in, and that's been a whole lot of fun, and it's kind of been bringing me to a different kind of place, like a different way to present this style. I love comics and I've worked in comics, but man, that's a shit ton of work, to knock out 24 pages in a month, or like, and I took 3 months to do a 98-page graphic novel, and it just about killed me, man. It's like I see George nodding over there, right? It's extremely stressful. So it's to find this way of expressing myself from sort of a cartoonist perspective, sort of one panel at a time, has been a lot of fun. It's been liberating. That's also hard because it's hard to be funny in a single panel with a single punchline. But I would highly recommend folks check that magazine out. It's so much fun. I'm going to be presenting all of those online at some point as well, and probably we'll start up a Patreon page that has all of the sketch work. I tend to work everything out in a sketchbook, but before I scan it in and do the final versions. So I have hundreds of pages of sketch work that I kind of want to see if people are interested in. So man, I'm just throwing a bunch of shit at the wall, see what sticks.
Well, yeah, and man, I tell you what, quit putting it out there for free. Man, there's so many print on demand options. People are going to buy your stuff. You've got some great work there.
Well, I have this theory about sort of giving to the universe, right? It's like I do intend, and I have made money in the art side of my career, but I kind of feel like you throw enough stuff out there and you get enough eyeballs on what you're doing, right? And then find a way to sell a specific subset of that work that's sort of particularly special. And I don't know if that'll work, man. Maybe I'll be stuck at a software company until they put me in a grave, right? But
as somebody who works in the industry as well, please don't say that. I love my job, but wow, yeah, no, I've got other plans. So
right. In some ways, it just kind of steals your soul, right? It's like, it's not that it sucks; it's a good job, and through COVID, I've been particularly lucky because my company has really fairly severe pandemic response, right? So we all have our own offices, and we're not allowed to leave our office except to go to the bathroom, right? when we work, and we have to walk around with our masks on and stuff. So I really haven't missed a beat at the office, and so that's I can be particularly thankful to the universe for giving me that opportunity to continue to make a living. But shit, man, couldn't a brother have just gotten 3-6 months off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kept waiting for that. Oh no, we're gonna, take a break. We'll be back and we'll keep paying you while you're out. That never happened. I don't know what's up with that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and my company is based out of Northern California. So yeah, we're not even back in the office yet. Well, I won't be because I'm in Indianapolis, but they're not back in the office yet even. So yeah, I feel you on that one. So amazing, amazing, amazing stuff. Love to see what you've got. Thanks for putting it out there the way that you are. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what you have coming up next. Can you talk about anything you've got in mind that you may want to throw out there just to tease us, to wet the whistle?
Well, so I've been working on content for an online print shop, and I also have this is an embarrassing. My wife is going to giggle about this. She literally alphabetized and organized my 24,000 comic book collection, and
oh wow,
yeah,
okay, and she's still your wife. That's amazing.
yeah, I know, amazing, right? But I've decided that I only need to keep about 10,000 of them, and I probably don't need the other 14,000. So I'm looking at some of the things that I'm working on are more like, you know, sort of tiki versions of retro. This is Phantom Girl from the Legion of Superheroes, right? From my favorite era of Bronze Age comics. And I'm thinking that the print shop is going to have a subset of print and comic book combos. So if somebody wants the comic book, they get a free print. If somebody likes the print, they get a free comic book. And maybe my wife doesn't want to beat me because I'm actually getting some of these comic books out the door and instead of continuing to hoard them.
Yeah. And did you tell her, what was the reaction after she cataloged all 24,000? You said, yeah, I'm going to get rid of 14,000 of them.
Oh, you know what? She has been so remarkably supportive that she even has become very defensive of the ones that I want to keep. And, you know, we bought new boards and bags for all of them, and several thousands of dollars worth of shelving just to alphabetize them and put them in a way that I can now get at them. And so that's sort of the untouchable part of the collection, right? And you know, she really is for someone who didn't understand what it might be like to marry a hoarder. She has really been incredibly supportive, and you know, I don't feel like I could even build this this business that we're working on. I wouldn't have the energy to do it on my own or the organizational skills.
Well, it's absolutely incredible that you found somebody who is not only can do that, but is actually still with you after some of those tasks that you shared that you made her do. So thank you very much, Jerry. We put all of your contact info into the chat. And just for those of you watching at home, yes, I moved my chat over here because, you know, for the last 90 episodes, I always talk about the chat. Like you guys, you're all looking going, where's the chat? What's he talking about? It's on my side of the screen right here on the left. But we have all your information in the chat. Thanks for joining, Jerry, with Brew Lagoon. And look forward to seeing what you're going to be bringing out, man. You got some great stuff.
Awesome. Mahalo, my brother. Thanks so much.
All right. Thanks, dude. And let's see. So that is the show for tonight. That's all of our guests, all of the cool people that we brought you. So now we get to the point of the show. It's like, all right, Sam, yeah, that was a great group of guests. You know, but what have you done for us lately? What's next? Who's next? Who's coming up? So let me bring up Sam. How are you, Sam?
Aloha, Jeff.
Aloha.
Another wonderful show, like always.
You do a great job at finding these artists and the themes. You keep saying, oh, the themes. No, there's no underlying theme. I see underlying themes. Like tonight, a lot of the graphic novel comic book art came out. So it was really cool.
Oh, yeah, totally. Another amazing lineup next week to look forward to as well. We're going to have Secret Island out of Long Beach, California, heading the port along. Stellar shows and concerts are going to be the featured guests for the night. And then we're going to have Luna Customs, Ryan Solsky, and a few more joining the Makani Marketplace.
Awesome. So that sounds like a great show as well. Yeah, I'm excited about Secret Island. Haven't been there yet. It's one of the stops I'm hoping to make if I am able to get back to California on my trip next month. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they've got going on.
Yeah, another Bamboo Ben build. So gotta check it out.
Oh yes, Bamboo Ben he's proliferating like crazy. He's got his little bamboo tiki kids all around the country. There's a ton of them, but every single one of them is amazing from what I've seen so far.
Oh yeah. Well, you won't be disappointed.
Well, we've got to get Ben on this show. He's hard to get a hold of, hard to get just because he is so much in demand. But we've had him on with Mrs. Bamboo Ben, Vicky, talking about the hardcore marketplace. We'll have to get them back on again.
Very cool. Yeah, I will reach out to them. That's a great idea.
All right. So yeah, thanks, Sam. Definitely appreciate it. And it wasn't too confusing tonight because we had two Sams on. Talking with Sam earlier, I was like, oh, I don't know where Sam is. And he's, oh, I'm right here. No, I meant the other Sam. So not too often that happens, but I think we had it squared away. We did okay tonight.
Yes, I agree.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And mahalo for all that you do.
Mahalo, Jeff. Thanks, everyone. You guys were awesome.
All right. So that is the show. That's this portion of the show. We come and we bring you the marketplace. We have the mixology, the cocktails, the artists, the music, just like you would at any marketplace that you go to, but ours is virtual. You do it in the safety of your own home, and you get to travel to real cool places like Virginia. That's where Jerry was dialing in from. We have people from all over the place, which is really nice. Next week, you see some Long Beach influence, and I know we've got people from other parts of the country. And we will have people on from other parts of the world. So it's just that kind of marketplace. You don't know what you're going to get each week. So we always have fun. It's an exciting time. Thank you for joining us. Mahalo for being here. If you are watching on YouTube, this is going to be the end of the segment. If you're here with us live, hang out. We do an after party and just kind of hang out and chat just like you would if you were sitting at the tiki bar with your drinks. So do make sure to join us. We're here every single Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And so next week we've got another great show, and we're going to continue this on. We've done this is 92 now that we're up to, and people said it wouldn't last. Hell, I didn't think it was going to last, but 92 episodes. We're rocking and rolling, and love the vibe that we're able to bring out to the community, and love everyone that's coming on the show and enjoying the time. So hopefully you can make it here and be a part of what's going on with us live. But for now, until next Tuesday night, Jeff Ballard here signing off from another Tiki Trail Live, saying aloha.
Tiki Trail Live.